Today's topic, 11 love at first sight signs. Today I want to share the 11 signs with you that show you that the man you are looking at might be the love of your life and that it might be true love. But I want to start this episode with a very important warning. Be careful that you don't confuse love at first sight with lust at first sight. Because love is something that has to develop. Love is something that you feel in your heart. But lust can be something that overwhelms you and that makes you feel as if this man might be the love of your life, even though you are just insanely attracted to this man. And that's something that happens to men and it also happens to women. When we see somebody we are incredibly attracted to, and then of course we get nervous, we sweat, we're excited, and then we think, oh my god, it must be love. But that's often just lust at first sight. There are clear differences between lust at first sight and love at first sight. And in this episode, I want to share these differences with you, and I want to show you the signs that it's love at first sight with this man. And the first sign I want to share with you is that the moment he looks into your eyes, electricity is running through your body. And no, it's not this kind of nervousness that I just described when it's lust at first sight. It's not that you're just attracted to him. It's not because of his abs or because he's so handsome. It's something different. You don't really know what it is. Maybe he's not the most handsome guy you've ever met, but there's something about him. The moment you look into his eyes, electricity is running through your body. It's energy. Energy is floating throughout your body and you feel this warm feeling. You just feel so good in this moment. This can be a sign. And you have the feeling that you know him forever. You might just talk to him for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but it feels so safe. It feels so familiar. It feels so good to talk to him. This can be a sign that it's love at first sight, because usually what happens when we meet somebody, and I'm sure you've also experienced that when you've been on a date with a man, that in the beginning you might think, maybe we'll get to know him, maybe not, let's see, and then you talk to him, and the more you talk to him, the more interest you develop in him, and then at some point the feelings kick in. But in this case, when it's love at first sight, it's completely different. You just talk to him for a couple of minutes or maybe even a couple of seconds, and the feelings you have are so strong that you can almost not control it. And this is a sign, or let's say it can be a sign. Always remember, all these signs can be signs that it's love at first sight. It doesn't have to be. So always remember that. I don't want you to jump into a relationship just because one of the signs that I share with you here is true for you when you meet this man. You should always keep your eyes and your ears wide open, but at the same time, it's already a very good sign when you feel like that when you're interacting with a man. And like I said, even if you just talk to him for a couple of seconds, but the feeling is so strong. And if you want me to help you to meet and attract the right man and to find the right man and to then make the right man commit to you, then you can click on the second link in the description or go to gethimkeephim.com/Skype and inquire for your first Skype coaching session with me. I've coached so many amazing women and I would absolutely love it to get to know you, to help you, and to coach you. And like I said, the link is in the description, or you can go to gethimkeephim.com/Skype. And you feel so warm and so protected and so safe, even though you don't know this person. And now I have to say another word of warning. This is especially very dangerous when you are meeting, let's say, a narcissistic man who's very charming, and you then confuse love at first sight with lust at first sight. He might be very charming, he might be very good looking, but don't trust him then immediately, even though you want to trust him, even though you feel protected and safe with him. This could backfire. I've coached women in Skype coaching sessions who I helped to get out of relationships with narcissistic men, and who have also helped to get over relationships with narcissistic men and to then attract love with a man who's not a narcissist. So I know that this can be a very tricky situation. So even if you feel protected and safe with him, always keep your eyes open and your ears open and be careful. And images of your future are popping up in your mind seconds after meeting him. This is, in my experience, one of the clearest signs that it's love at first sight, and that this person might even be your soulmate, that you might even have this future together. When the moment you meet this person, you don't actively create any images, but it just happens. The moment you meet this person, these future images, you can even say these future visions, are popping up in your mind, and you can see yourself marrying this person. You can see yourself having children with this person. You can see yourself traveling with this person. This is one of the clearest signs that it is in fact love at first sight. And you recognize this man in a crowded room among dozens of other men, but something is different. Like I said before, he might not be the most handsome guy, he might not have the style that you usually go for, but there's something about him. You just can't describe it. You can't make sense of it. But the moment you enter a room, let's say you go to a bar or to a private party, and there are dozens of other men, dozens of people in there, and maybe he's even at the end of the bar, but the moment you enter that room, you see him and you feel the emotions I just described. This can be a clear sign that it's love at first sight. And your gut feeling says yes. Your gut screams yes and yes and yes and yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been on dates with guys where your gut feeling said no. And maybe you made the mistake, I mean, I made it in the past, and so many of my coaching clients made this mistake in the past, that you didn't listen to your gut feeling and you said to yourself, he's successful, he's attractive, maybe I can start something with him. And then in the end, you got disappointed. And then when you look back at this experience, you can clearly see that your gut said, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, no, don't do it, just don't do it. But what if you are in the position right now where your gut screams from the beginning, yes, it feels so right, it just feels right. And then you are in this wonderful situation that your mind, your heart, and your gut feeling are in complete alignment. And this can be a love at first sight sign. And the moment he speaks to you, his voice seems so familiar. You just have the feeling that you know each other for a very long time. And when you then hear his voice, it feels very, very familiar. I mean, I could now talk about spirituality and past lives and all this kind of stuff, but I don't want to freak you out. I'm a very spiritual person. I know that not all of my listeners are very spiritual, so that's why I don't do that right now. If you want to find out more about that, then we can talk about this in a Skype coaching session. But when you hear his voice and it feels so familiar, you just have this feeling, I've heard that voice before. This can be a clear sign that it is love at first sight and that there's a soulmate connection. And you've been on so many dates in the past, and you've always had your mask. You didn't show your true self. You've never felt that you can be truly honest and truly authentic with the man you're talking to. But now that you've met this man, everything is different. You want to get rid of your mask. You no longer need your mask. You know that you no longer need this mask because you have this strong feeling inside of yourself that you can be authentic. For the first time ever, you have the feeling that you can be authentic with this person. And this is an incredible feeling. And this happens when you meet somebody who might be the love of your life, who you feel so comfortable with, so amazing with, that you can open up. No matter how weird you are, no matter how weird he is, you can just both be yourself. And that's beautiful. And another benefit, or let's say another sign that you've just met the love of your life, is that your heart is beating faster and faster and faster. No matter if he touches you, no matter if he talks to you, no matter what he does. Whenever you look at him, whenever he looks at you, you feel this insane connection. It's so strong and your heart goes ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. And that's also the feeling that you want to create inside of him. You also want his heart to go ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Because the last thing that you want to experience is that you have the feeling that you are talking to the love of your life, but he says, nah, I'm not really interested in her. You don't want that. And that's why you want to make him obsessed with you. And it's so easy to make men obsessed with you if you know how to activate his hero instinct. And if you want to find out how 7 of my incredible coaching clients did exactly that, then you can click on the first link in the description or go to gethimkeephim.com/obsession. And from the moment you meet him, other men are no longer interesting. Maybe you were talking to other guys. Maybe you even started dating another guy. But suddenly, this guy and all the other guys are no longer interesting. The only thing you can think of is this man. This is a love at first sight sign, and a very, very powerful one. And you don't even know why you are so into this guy. He might not be the most handsome guy you've ever met. He might not be the wealthiest guy you've ever met. He might not even be the funniest guy you've ever met. But the moment your eyes meet and you talk to him, that's the moment when you know that you are in love. And this is a very, very powerful love at first sight sign that you might experience in the future. And if you want to increase the odds and your ability to meet the man of your dreams, then you can work with me in a Skype coaching session, and I show you exactly, specifically tailored to your specific situation, what you can do to attract the man of your dreams and to experience a wonderful, loving relationship. And if you want to work with me, you can go to gethimkeephim.com/Skype, or you can click on the second link in the description. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Share your opinion, share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I would love it even more if you would hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.